All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Eric Velasquez. This is Alamo City Agenda, and we are here for the City Council District 2 race. So, right, sir?
Right.
We have Mr. Patrick Jones, right?
That's me.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, let's get a little backstory, Mr. Jones.
I'm born and raised District 2, San Antonio. Been here all my life and been active in the community, very active for the last 33 years, and worked.
Don't give away your age.
It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Attended school here and District 2, Sam Houston. Been active in the community for some time. I started out like a lot of other people. Sometimes we would say a product of our environment.
Oh,
Yeah. You know, so I've lived all of it. I like to tell everybody, I've lived every aspect of my community and have been an overcomer.
Yeah.
You know, I've been blessed because of it, you know, and I've seen and lived the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
You know, and now I think I'm living the great.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I'm living the great. So my desire has been to serve the community. You know,
Yeah.
and, it maybe even right. I like to put it like this. Sometimes we have to right some of the wrongs that we make.
Yeah.
And so that's another part of my running. I want to right some of the wrongs that I've done years ago.
You're right.
Years ago.
Well, and like being accountable. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
With some of the politics and politicians that we hear about today, there's not very much faith in those people that they're like, well, I don't believe in their ethics. Like they're don't believe that they would be morally right to do the right thing.
Yeah, I concur. That's why, and I hear this said a lot by people that enter into politics, like pretty much I've done. I'm not a politician. I'm a so and so. You know, but the truth of the matter is, once we enter into any elected office, we begin to we're politicking right now.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So I think it's important that we be honest, we be upfront, and we display some values.
Yeah.
That should come along with the office.
So what if you make a mistake?
Well, I mean, I'm human.
What are we going to expect from Mr. Jones?
Well, you're going to expect for me to make a mistake. That's one thing. You're going to expect that because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I'm yet human, so I believe all of us. But I'm one, I can forgive people for mistakes. That's no issue with me. A mistake it's common. It's part of life.
Right.
You know, I think we all make them, but I think also we need to own them.
Right.
You know, if we own them, we can come back and we can deal with whatever the mistakes are. Try to, like I say, right the wrong.
Right.
We do that.
Yeah, and that's something I think we have a lot lacking in the government political arena. It's a lot of mistrust, and when things go wrong, and they don't want to take accountability for it. So it's good to hear that you will take accountability for it. So why now? Why did you want to?
Why now? And that's a typical question.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I'm not getting any younger. You see this? I'm not getting any younger. I had toyed with the idea 2 other times, and this time around, I just felt like, hey, if you're going to step out, step up, now's the time to do it. I wish I could find just one reason, but there's.
Oh well, yeah. There's
one reason.
Yeah, there's never gonna be one reason, especially with all this stuff, and it's overwhelming, right? You know, to think of, okay, well, here's this issue, but then there's also this issue,
Yeah.
then this issue, and it's like a spider web of things. And what do you plan to tackle? The first thing, if you get into office, what's the first thing you would like to tackle?
Well, the first thing, my campaign sign, you saw it, it says eager to build. And one thing I think that we are lacking is relationships across our district. I want to build continuity between the people and the office. That's number one. I think that's important. I think that'll even get you 8 years.
Yeah.
If you're willing to hear the people, and the people hear you, and we're not just locked in on what your vision is,
Right.
but we also have to understand that there are people that have been laboring out here for years, and that they have projects on the table that they want to see some. At least you give ear to them.
Yeah.
They want to be heard. People want to be heard.
Right.
And so that's my thing, is to build those relationships. And then I want to build, I believe this, I believe that when people have, whether the relationships are good or bad, it still opens the door for communication.
Right.
And we can get some work done. It doesn't matter, I don't have to agree with you, I don't have to like you.
Yeah.
But then there are times when we at least must sit down and be civil.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe those are the kind of relationships we need to make. We disagree with a lot of the procedures and policies of our law enforcement, but how often are we sitting down and talking these things through, instead of battling them out in the political arena, taking them, putting them on the ballot and this, that, and the other. I think it starts with communication. Like I said, we don't have to like each other.
Right.
But we ought to be able to at least sit down and talk some things through. I believe relationships are the key to anything. One time, I shared this, our church, I'm a pastor also, our church was in need of a loan. So we applied at several banks. Well, and they were turning us down. So the last bank I went to, lady name was Miss Reagan. She said, listen, what kind of relationship do you have with your bank? And I said, well, we bank at the bank, but I don't call it a relationship.
Right.
So I built the relationship with her that day. And after building that relationship with her, we got the loan.
Oh.
That was through building a relationship with her. And then from that point on, I discovered that whenever we needed to finance something, we needed a loan for something, that we paid it off quick, I could call her and we didn't have to go through the process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the relationship had been made. And I think that happens even in the political field. A lot of relationships open doors.
Yeah.
And so I think that's my task, is to build relationships. So we don't go through all of it.
Now, let me ask you a question though. With the relationship between the community, right? Since there are very few statistically that go out and vote and go out and pay attention to what's going on in the district, how are you going to break those barriers to get people to come out, get people to be politically engaged?
I think we have to employ the same methods that we employ when we're running for office. We got to knock on doors.
Yeah.
We have to take ads. We have to communicate with the community the best way we can. And I think it's key that they need to know that they're being heard. I think a lot of people don't vote because they don't feel like they're being heard.
Yeah.
And that's an issue.
So, I mean, that's a tough one because, a lot of the people that I do talk to, they say about doing the communication, but what's the game plan? You know what I mean? Even if you weren't running for office, how do we get people to come out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we have with another organization I work with, we have done town halls. We have done virtual town halls. We've had across the district, I think it's over 100. It's 106,000 or more registered voters.
Mhm.
Nowhere near that
Yeah.
is going to come out.
Yeah.
But I think we must tap into those that are registered some kind of way, just in the same way we do when we're campaigning. We got to find ways to reach those people,
Yeah.
and through our neighborhood associations and so on and so forth. We have to find ways to reach the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that-
I mean it's so hard, and especially with and for the people watching, make sure let me know when you guys can hear. Just give me a thumbs up because I've had a lot of issues before with sound issues. So just want to make sure you guys can hear. Just give me a thumbs up or you can hear me. We just real quick, we are at Fork Lotus Coffee House over here on Grayson. What was the address again?
1526.
1526 Grayson Street. So please feel free to come on by and grab a coffee. So they're allowing us to do this show here. So thank you guys. So I don't know where Tattoo went, but anyway, so with everything going on, with as far as the police forces, what are you hearing from the community that are you hearing that it's opposite of what like the Justice Charter is trying to do, or is it? What's your take on those things?
I believe it's what demographic you speak to.
Yeah.
A lot of the younger ones are in favor. The majority of the older ones are not. From what I'm hearing, and I don't talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing, they get concerned when you start messing with the police.
Like what? Like with funding or with like
just period. If they think their policing is being threatened,
Yeah.
They get a little worried about that, and I understand that.
Right.
I've talked with Ananda, but not in detail about it. But I am going to speak with her in detail. But it's the demographic.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, not just in our district, but across
Right.
America.
Yeah.
It's the demographic.
For sure. So where do you line with as far as with like the police accountability portion?
Well, I say this,
And not specifically the charter, but I'm just saying in general.
in general. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'll say this. In what they placed on the previous ballot with the propositions, the chief got what he wanted out of it. They didn't get the defunding. I'll say defunding.
Reallocation.
Reallocation. They didn't get that. But the chief got the ability to fire, and I think we just have to hold the chief accountable to do what he wanted in the charter. I think that was Article 28, 29, the charter that he wanted to adjusted or removed or whatever. But I believe that we are at a point now when it comes to bad police officers, we just got to hold the chief accountable. You got what you wanted according to the charter. To the amendment.
Yeah.
So let's hold him accountable.
Right.
And if they fired, let them stay fired. Don't let them. And that's why I'm at back to the accountability process. If I have to be accountable, you have to be accountable. And he has to be accountable also.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's hard because they have the qualified immunity, and so it's a difficult thing to where you're ruining the image of other police officers that might be doing what they can do, what they're doing, their job, but then there's some that are bad apples, and the military doesn't have that.
They do.
So it's they don't have where, if you do something really bad, like, you get scot free, you go to Leavenworth, you know what I mean, like
They had.
So I mean it's hold on, let me make sure we're still connected. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Just trying to make sure this thing was still recording. Okay, so what have you heard right now so far with your campaigning? What have you heard from the community directly?
But my campaigning,
Yeah.
it's been positive.
Well, I mean, like as far as with what you're hearing from the community that they want change, or what their biggest concern is right now.
The biggest concern is right now. That's a great question. Again, it depends on who you're talking to,
Right. Yeah.
and you know what area you're speaking to.
Yeah.
There are a lot of concerns, and the topic of the day is always going to be policing and crime.
Yeah.
You know, I think crime and shootings and things like that are the biggest issues.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. My apologies, guys. My tablet's telling me we're not online, but my phone is saying no, we are. So, my apologies. Anyway, so yeah, so it depends on the different, like who you're talking
It
to.
depends on who you're talking to, but I think everyone's concern is with crime, with policing, and those are some of the top issues that I've heard.
Yeah.
I've also heard about property taxes.
No.
You know,
Man.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the biggest one across the board for sure. So what would you want to do going in? Like, what did you say was the first thing you wanted to do when you get into office?
I want to start connecting our community.
Okay.
You know, all across the spectrum. You know, and you know, starting to speak, bring people from every aspect of our community together and start conversation. Because there's a lot of parts of the Northeast side.
Yeah.
They feel like they're totally neglected
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to District 2 and how District 2 operates.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you feel that there's going to be a change that's going to happen? Like people are just going to be tired of the common things that's happening constantly. Do you feel like people are going to get it like, okay, let's just do it now. Let's get up and let's start caring about our community in a sense? Or, I mean,
I pray so. I do. I hope so. I think that's important. I mean, we have to care.
yeah,
And then listen, in District 2, I think it's a must that we begin to get excited about our community. Listen, everything is going up around us.
yeah,
You know, nothing is going down. Even the cost of housing is, you know, it's exploding.
right.
But we're not seeing major progress in our community. We see
Like infrastructure wise,
right?
Yeah,
You know, the military drive blew up in a matter of years.
yeah,
We have corridors through our district that should look like that, but it's not even on the verge of providing those amenities that the other side.
Well, you know, and the thing that bothered me was, and I don't know, and I'll be honest, I don't know exactly if right now, District 2 has a TERS.
We
I-
do.
I-
We have the largest TERS, second largest.
do?
Yes.
Is the one downtown or no?
TERS. Yeah, we have the second largest TERS.
What does it cover?
You mean area that it covers?
Yeah,
I don't have the.
yeah, but like general.
Yeah, I have a general idea. I can tell you, I know some of the people that
Okay.
have benefited from the
Oh,
TERS.
okay.
You know, personally, I know who sits on the TERS.
Yeah.
You
Do you
know.
think it's helping though?
It's helping some.
Some, yeah.
You know, it should. There are other people it should reach they minimize a lot of people that could really benefit from it.
Yeah.
You know, it's been minimized, but I know some that have benefited very well from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing with the TERS, it's like, and for those who don't know, the tax investment reinvestment zone. That's what so basically it helps small businesses in a certain area. They can apply for these in these zones, and they can get some funding
Right.
to help with the facade of the location.
Infrastructure and stuff like that.
So, but like you said, it's only helping a few.
Some.
Yeah. So, so I mean, what other things do you think?
It's been a blessing for many of the developers. You know, you come in, you're gonna build an apartment complex, you're gonna build big business. You know, it's been a real blessing for some of them.
But it's not helping the small businesses.
It hasn't done much
Yeah.
for small business. I know several that have applied. And
Right.
leave disappointed.
Yeah.
And I know everybody is not going to qualify.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, some of the people that are more in need than big business,
Right.
you know.
Well, it's kind of like with the PPP loans. Like the PPP loans came out, and there were some millionaires that got quite a bit of money, and these small businesses, and these small businesses were like, "What about us?"
Yeah.
Or they couldn't apply because they didn't have all of their accounting. You know,
Yeah.
it's a little tough. So, what's your take on the houseless population?
The homeless.
Yes. There's obviously an issue. There's no real great solution for addressing the houseless population, but
we tackled that. We addressed it. I'm also on the district attorney's citizen review panel.
okay.
And we tackled that conversation several times. I think some of the burden of that has been placed at the DA's office, you know, as to how to deal with it, you know, what can we do with it. So we've had that conversation. You know, it's hard to make a person want some help.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of them are. They don't want the help, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think too is some of it that it's come across is with like Haven for Hope. They don't want to go in there because they say it's a hellhole, you know. And I don't know, you know. I mean,
they have to follow the rules.
Right. Well, there's that, but then also they said that there's also some people that shouldn't be in there. That you know, but it's considered unsafe. Some people have said that they've been there. So, you know, what's an alternative? You know,
I think we have to research and find what has worked somewhere. Because when we look around, hey man, I mean, I go to Austin, I go to Houston, right. It's worse than here.
Yeah.
You know, and we're getting more of it coming into District 2 area.
Yeah.
You know, so
you know, some people have said, okay, well, what if we have like a little area where we build like some tiny homes, like a community? But the thing is that a lot of people that are around that in that area don't want it in their neighborhood. You know, so what do we do? Take them outside the city limits, you know, and it just says take them over there and see if they can do that, or you know what I mean? That's.
I wish I had the answer.
Yeah.
You know, but it's something we have to, and that's what we concluded. You know, we have to research it. We have to really find out what's working where.
Right.
You know, and
it's not working in LA, that's for sure. LA is like just, but see, they're also just tearing the stuff down. They're taking in their stuff, and it's like, but then what? Like,
my question is, where they get all the tents from? I mean, that's my question.
Well, you know, there's a lot of organizations that do give out the tents and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, I saw one and they had like a full bed in there and all this stuff. You know, but you know, they try to make it like a community. But the thing is that you're on the side of the road, you know, on the curb, and it's just a delicate balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? But yeah, construction. What's there's been a lot of businesses impacted, especially Broadway. I know Broadway is a little bit different situation because of TxDOT, but construction anywhere else in D2, are you seeing any? Yeah,
Yeah.
are any businesses getting impacted that are hurting?
I believe most of them are hurting. I think that's what that Bassey Road area went through it. That's not District 2, but
Yeah.
that area went through it, and some of those businesses closed down. St. Mary's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, and New Braunfels, right? Not just south of it. You have that issue there. I've always felt like some of our, I know they finally did, make it where they could apply for some of the ARPA funds.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like,
but and then how long is it going to take before you get it?
and it was only like $3,500.
Yeah,
Or no, 35,000. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, it might sound good for a homeowner, but not for a business owner.
I thought that could have been some TERS dollars that could have helped those businesses.
You're right. Well, and that's the thing is, how much money is left in the TERS?
Quite a bit.
Is there? Oh, okay.
It's-
So, so for any small businesses in the TERS area, you can find on the City of San Antonio website. Look up TERS, TIRZ, and it'll show you where the zones are. And if your business falls in that zone, you can apply for those TERS grants. You don't have to pay them back. So, do you know how much they usually give out? Like the max?
I know some of the businesses got millions from our TERS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's open. You can go in and see. Some of our businesses that got millions
Yeah.
from TERS.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. Hey, there we go. We're back on. For anybody watching, just give me a thumbs up. Make sure you can see everything, hear everything. I always get so worried with this because it's sometimes hit or miss. Especially my tab is messing up right now. So, and excuse it's a little bit loud, but we're at Folklotus Coffee House. It's a working, thriving coffee house. So just bear with this on the noise. It's fine. That's why we could hear ourselves. We should be good. Anthony asks, can we depend on you to push for real police reform? Police are continually caught on camera violating citizens' rights and breaking the law. These are systematic problems. Police need retraining. We need a city task force to investigate misconduct.
I agree. You can count on me to push for that issue. Like I said, the chief got what he wanted, and I think we need to apply the pressure, hold him accountable. He got what he wanted in the process. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. And I think what he's also referring to is the task force. I believe it was I think it was part of that Justice Charter where they're wanting to implement a person, like another role, like forget what the name that they called it, but
Well, that issue there is going to be left up to the voters. That's a charter amendment, and that's going to have to be left up to the voters.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Well, now you're asking me how am I going to vote? Whether I'm going to
No,
vote
I'm not going to ask you to vote, but like, how do you feel about adding another position to oversee
to
that?
hold them accountable. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's somebody to monitor the situation, hold them accountable. It should be.
Now, some people have said, well, you're just adding another governmental entity to oversee, and it's more government overreach. How do you feel about that? Like,
does it have to be? I mean, for a citizen to monitor situations,
right.
Does it have to be governmental? That's my question.
Right.
And I think, and that opens up another discussion.
Right.
I don't have the answer. I don't think you would have the answer right now. Does it have to be a governmental issue?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it should. And I think a lot of people put too much faith into the government itself.
Right.
To where, I mean, let's just be honest. There's a lot of things that we can do without the government in there. It should be there to maintain the infrastructure where, like you said, the infrastructure is not being very well taken care of. It's being put into other things. But
sometimes we have to step up and do things that we see the government are not doing.
Yeah.
We have to step up and bring those things out in the open. We have to make those, bring attention to those.
Right, exactly. Anthony says we need a special counsel type investigation. So I'm assuming that's in relation to the police accountability part. I got my old school notes here. Off topic. What is your playlist sound like? Give us a little bit of taste of your playlist.
My playlist is old school.
Hey, bring it on.
I'm old school. I'm Temptation.
Okay.
I'm a Stylistics.
Yeah,
that's my playlist. That's my personal time.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a old school quartet guy. Gospel quartet, traditional quartet guy. But when I listen to my music, I'm old school, OJ's, Temptation, that Stylistic, Bloodstone. That's me. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have a record collection?
I actually have an album collection. I have vinyl.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, how do you feel like that's making a comeback? How do you feel about that?
Well, I never left it.
You're like, you're back?
You're back. That's it. Yeah.
So what has shaped you into who you are today? I know you said you had a lot of every spectrum of life, and so what has put you into this place right now that you feel?
My relationship with God. That's what put me in space and place I am right now. That's first and foremost in my life. That's what afforded my change. Maybe one day you'll hear my whole story.
Yeah.
But that's what afforded, me my change. It's my relationship with God, and I try to. That's number one. That's first for, and then I love people. I love the district. I love the community. I still live in the community. None of my sons live in District 2. They all live across town. That's one of the things that bothers me. Most of my sons live in the Lotus, Stone Oak area, somewhere around there. But I think I'd like to see our community offer some things that our young people, an entertainment district, even though I don't club no more. I used to own clubs,
No.
and I don't club no more. But I think that's important in the life of certain people. I'm not so holy. I forgot about what it feels like to be young and have a good time. So, but I'd like to see an entertainment district. We got an area that was zoned in District 2 years ago. It was zoned in entertainment district. There's no entertainment there.
Yeah.
That corridor leading to AT&T Center,
Right.
Down Houston Street, that was labeled entertainment district years ago. But we don't see any of that going on in that area. Then we have other areas. We need to breathe back life into St. Paul. It's another great area.
What didn't they make something out there right now?
You got some stuff, but you still have vacant buildings that are not being occupied. So those are some of the things I want to see. Housing also that our people want to spend those extra dollars to buy.
Well, and that's the thing that's a little concerning is because you have the developers building a lot of homes that don't look like the home next to it, and that's pushing those property taxes up. Some people are saying, well, we took something that was dilapidated, falling apart, an eyesore, we're making it nice, but it's out of reach for some of the D2 community people, right? And there's some people that have had homes, they give it over to their family or their sons or daughters, and they don't want it. They don't want to do anything with it, and they get rid of it. So
they don't want to be here.
Well, yeah.
That's the issue. Yeah. They don't want to be here, but we have to bring back. We have to revive the community that it is a place that they want to live, and so I think we have to have real conversations with every demographic of people to find out what do the people want that's going to keep them here. I have a granddaughter graduating. She was raised by us, me and my wife, and she's in law school. She's in her 5th year of law school now. She'll be graduating, pretty soon, and from UT Austin. And she graduated here at St. Mary's and went to UT Austin. But now she's in Austin. She said, "I'm not moving back to San Antonio." But I want to see her come back here, open up a law practice here in our district, and do things right here. But it's not going to happen. Yeah. Because she got to Austin and she sees a progressive Austin, even though the prices are higher.
Tell me about it.
And we always talking about the prices, but we pay for what we want. All of us.
True. Yeah. You it's whatever is more important to you, you're going to pay up for.
If it's presented, we'll buy it.
Right.
If we see it, we like it, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where it's at.
Yeah.
But we have to build it. We have to provide it so that the people will occupy it.
Well, and also too is you go back to where we're talking about the relationship with the banks and all that stuff, and how the history of redlining was, back and how it wasn't even just about relationship. It was just about racism or like not wanting to have certain people in the neighborhood. And was there anything that you feel back in time that you feel like District 2 was in a good place?
I never felt like it wasn't a good place. I've never felt like it wasn't a good place. Let me tell you how we were raised.
You said it wasn't, or it wasn't in a good place? Or?
No, I said we pretty much been in the same place.
Okay.
For years we've been in the same place. We're not seeing that progressive shift. We're not seeing. That's what I'm saying about us looking like other areas of town.
Right.
The Marbach Road area, the Franco Road, the Military Drive. You have all of these corridors. You see progress, but we haven't seen that real progress. Even if you go 478, and Northeast, and we're not seeing that progress in specific areas of what we consider more District 2. Most people look at District 2, they look at the center of the East Side. Let's be honest about it. And it's so big because it goes all the way out. They call it the finger out. The new home that they developed out there, 1604. 1604 going 10 East. All of that's District 2 now.
Yeah.
So we have a large area. And we just haven't seen that. I think it's great what they've done or what they're doing, because it's not done. Foster Road and, but it's still not bringing us the type of
which one?
Where they building Walmart and you got to feel but you don't really have that major infrastructure going up.
Right.
It's not happening.
Yeah. It's a tough, and it's hard to hear that nothing, like it's been the same, and it's I would assume that's really frustrating for the residents in D2, and also, like you said, like people want to leave and just not want to come back, and honestly, like for me personally, like when I lived in D5 growing up, and I moved out, and my mom was like, "Well, why are you moving out?" Why are you living all the way over there? I'm like, because I don't want to be in the same environment that I was before because it's a negative environment. You know what I mean? And do you feel like it's like a negative environment kind of growing up and stuff like that? Like for the people that don't want to come back, like, do you think it's?
Do I think it's a bad thing?
Yeah, like, do you feel like maybe that might have been a reason? Like, it was just a lot of negativity or bad things that would happen, in the place.
And it's a matter of what you see, how you feel.
Yeah.
But that's what I say. I want to change. We need to start changing how people feel about the area that they. Listen, when I was coming up, I grew up on Dory Street. I was either on Martin Luther King, which was Nebraska back in the day. I was either there or on Dory Street. That was my neighborhood. My grandmother lived on Bundy Street, so I'm right in the heart of everything.
Yeah.
And we were raised. Our parents told us, "Hey, y'all do better. Y'all move out of here." But now you listen to me saying, "I want an area where people want to live."
Yeah.
And I want the things, the amenities that people want to patronize.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My message is different from my mother and my father's message. It's totally different.
Yeah.
I want to see the community thrive. The community never thrives if all of the people that were coming up trying to make something of themselves and have a desire to make a better community.
Yeah.
The community will never thrive if they lose those people. So we got to build things. We have to provide things that people want to come to, people want to be a part of.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's like a difficult balance.
It's not going to be easy.
It's definitely not going to be easy. No, for sure. Because you run the risk of pricing people out of their homes that they lived in. Because that's the common thing when I ran for office back in 2020. The common thing that I would hear is I'm paying a lot of property taxes. Now they would tell me how much they would pay, and considering like where they were at, and considering that it was like a quote unquote like lower income area, and I'm paying less than they are, that's concerning. You know what I mean? And a lot of businesses, like bigger businesses that are in the area, in the district, are paying less taxes or no taxes because
like the Spurs.
Yeah.
Let's call it out like the Spurs, And I think that's what we have to come to instead of us footing all of the bill.
Yeah.
We have to start making some policies that some of those big businesses foot some of the bill.
Yeah.
And
infrastructure.
Like infrastructure, you're right. Right. And that's why, and with me, I'm not anti-development.
Right. Okay.
I think we need relationship with development. Therefore, if they're building something, what you're building ought to be a benefit to the community.
Yeah. And
not a burden on the community. And so I think we have to sit down and see, let's talk about it. Let's see where we're going here. How does this project help or benefit our community?
Yeah, for sure.
Because most of the time, if we fight it, we get it anyway.
Yeah.
And we have no input. We have no involvement. I mean, all they do is go around us and get the votes that they need, and they do it anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's us being at the table demanding that certain things happen.
Yeah.
I think that's better than giving a deaf ear.
Yeah.
And we see things happen, and our taxes are going up anyway.
Yeah. Right.
So let's be involved in the process. Let's make sure that the community benefits from the infrastructure or whatever. If you continue to build low-income housing, that doesn't bring any revenue to our schools. I mean, we have to have some affordable living housing, so that to balance.
To balance, yeah.
And I think we need to work on, we need to be involved in the process.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And then he says, what do you want to do about public transit? So many places are underserved in the city. Would you be willing to look at light rail?
That was on the table when back with Ivy Taylor, and I think the Julian Castro was going when he was going out, as mayor, he was leaving the office. All that light rail stuff was on the table. I'm in favor of light rail. You know, I go to a lot of other cities that have it. You know, I'm spend time. I'm always going somewhere. You know, Houston, Dallas, you know, other places.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing ourselves a disservice by not having some of it. I believe that. I think San Antonio, again, we come to that progressive city and that non-progressive city. Right? Let's face it, man.
Yeah. Well, and some people say, well, there's no room to have stuff here like that.
Well, you have to figure that out too, because I mean, let's be honest. You know, Austin has less room than we have.
Yeah.
I mean, those engineers have to figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. Kathleen, it's my wife. Growth is important to attract new residents. What are some of the reasons why you have stayed in the district?
Why have I stayed here?
Yeah, great question.
I love you. I think it's bad that I like to go fine dining. You know, I love fine dining. I have to drive to get to it.
Yeah.
You know, but and I think we're hurting in that area because they think people on the east side don't like fine dining or something. You know, I mean, but with the farthest thing from the truth, you know, I stayed here because I love the community. These my people. I mean, I see everybody as my people. I still pastor in the community. And really, there were times when I wanted to move away, when I wanted to move out. The first thing I did when I first got grown, I left the community. I stayed gone for some years. I came back. When I began to pastor, I came back. You know, I moved back into the district. I'm here. I'm fine.
Right.
You know,
yeah, for sure.
I'm cool with it. You know,
Anthony, you took the next question out of my mouth. What's your favorite restaurant in District 2?
In District 2?
Or a couple. Let's do a couple. Small business.
In District 2?
Mm-hmm. In District 2. No pressure.
In District 2, the place where I take my wife, and when I want to go out and eat something in District 2, nowhere. No, really. I mean, there are restaurants that I go. Listen, in District 2, there when we want to sit down and eat, that's where. I mean, really, let's look across. There are places, there are little lunch spots we might go to. Papa Fats, I'll go sit there and meet some of the fellas, and we might eat wings and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'll run by Hoffman's sometime. There are other places, you know, that you know, little lunch spot. But when I want to, places I love to go, I'm a Meat Tierra fan.
Yeah.
You know, me and my wife, we go sit there. She loves going there. I love Paisano's. You know, so we're over in Lincoln Heights at Paisano's, or another one, P.F. Chang.
Yeah.
Another one I'm famous. You know?
Now, let me just interject real quick. You're not saying that there's no place in District 2 that you'd like to frequent, but you're saying like full on sit down dinners and full on like your favorites.
Right.
They're not in D2 because there's no
can't name one.
There's nothing that's out there that you feel that there's not that many options in D2.
Then I haven't found one in District 2. I mean that, you know, I can you think of one?
My Harper's maybe.
No, I'm talking about dinner. You know.
Oh, dinner.
You know stuff like. I like Ma Harper's too, but
there would. Well, I mean, the place over there by the Alamo Dome, the one with the big burgers. I can't.
Tony G's, not Tony G's.
No.
Now I go Tony G's. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Yeah, Tony G's, and it's night spot, but
Yeah.
most of the places aren't
They're
really
just-
evening spots.
Oh, okay. I got
You
you.
know.
Got you. Okay.
My wife worked during the day, so
Oh, okay.
most time during the day I'm grabbing lunch with some of the fellas.
Yeah.
We'll meet
Yeah.
up, have lunch. We'll go to Chili's, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna take my wife out,
Right.
there's no place in District 2.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I think that kind of brings into play of, if you have some fine dining or some higher end restaurants, maybe that could attract some more people down here, or I can't think of. There's one that I went to, but it's not a fine dining. It's just kind of like you just go sit down, just eat real quick. But yeah, I mean, it's in order for a place to thrive, I think it's important to have options to frequent dining, shop.
Yeah.
What about shopping? No.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Clothes shopping, there's nowhere in San Antonio I shop.
Oh, okay.
No, really. I mean, I go to Houston, I go to Dallas, and I drive that just to buy suits. I mean, being honest with you, if I'm in a rush, I'm in a bind.
Yeah.
It's only one. If I can't find nothing at JCPenney quick, I'll go across to K&G, but I don't really like shopping at K&G because you buy a suit, everybody. It's only one men's store. Everybody has it. I go to church or somewhere out to eat. There's 9 other people sitting there with the same suit on.
Yeah.
So I leave and shop online. So I'm just not. San Antonio is not that place.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, like there is a lot of local restaurants, but like you said, there's not like to go sit down and have like a romantic dinner. You have to go down to like Pearl or Stone. Yeah, I get that.
And I have some spots in the Pearl I like to go to.
Yeah. Which one's a good one that you like?
Fish City Grill. I do that one, and it's another one. My wife like to go to. I can't think of the name of it.
Have you been to Southerly?
Southerly's, stuff like that. But we're gonna get it. It's gonna happen. One day it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something that happens that changes. Like there's got to be a shift somewhere.
I'm positive of that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, so what are some things that you're seeing from the current leadership that you might not agree with? Or is nothing yet has.
You know what? This is me now. My focus is not current leadership.
Okay.
My focus is getting my plan out.
Okay.
And he get his message out. And I'm just not going to deal with what I don't like about in it.
Okay. No worries. So how can people get a hold of you, help out in your campaign?
Okay.
Donate.
Hey, man, I need some of those. You can go to my website. It's Vote Jones for D2. That's VOTE JONES FOR D2.com, I think.
Okay.
And you can go there and you can type my name in and pull up. But you can go to Vote Jones for D2 and you can on my website. Or you can call my campaign phone number. It's 210-792-9476. That's 210-792-9476. You can call me anytime, leave a message, and hopefully I can get some of you all support. That's who I am. If you want to find out more about me, feel free to call me. I don't always have that phone but it's always available, and I promise I'll get back to you. I will return your call.
He did. He did return my calls. He was like, I don't know about this guy. No, no, but great, awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Jones. I appreciate it. Good luck. For anybody who's watching that's in D2 or know people that are in D2, reach out to Mr. Jones or watch the podcast and rewatch it if you didn't watch the whole thing. But just get out there, vote, go out and vote. Look for those people who are running. Ask some questions that matter to you, because we all have different things that we're passionate about or whatever. And if some of the things are aligned with Mr. Jones, with Patrick Jones, then great, but we won't know until we ask. So reach out, stay engaged, ask the tough questions. And just remember, this is your community. So we want people to come back to D2 or to all the districts in San Antonio. I mean, but specifically right now, District 2, we want District 2 to thrive and get moving forward. Because like you said, it hasn't gone anywhere, hasn't moved anywhere. But let's get it moving forward somehow, because we need it, right?
We need it.
So
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And tune in. Hopefully, we'll be starting here another one at 10 o'clock. Well, I know it's already passed, but we'll see. But if not, for sure, we'll have an interview here at 11. But we'll talk to you later. Bye.